302, I'd say.
285.
You went with 285?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes. I went with 285.
I went with 321.
I would have liked to have said you're the closest, but when you're off by 70 runs, then nobody is close. Nobody is close. But it was Bedlam in Dharamshala. It was carnage. You can think of various other words. And here I was sitting watching it on TV and feeling like a fool, saying, Travis Head ko thoda sa time do, let him get used to situation. And Travis Head said,
59 ball.
Excuse me, not only am I going to get 100, I'm going to get it quicker than even David Warner. In fact, he was outscoring David Warner.
Yep.
And this is a David Warner who seemed like he was in the mood.
Yes.
Oh boy. And if you go to the start of the World Cup, if you remember our shows months before the World Cup started, I can remember I picked Australia as the clear favourite because he said this is one team that scares you, the kind of batting that they have. And it's just that they didn't start on a great note. But now they're showing you why. That how destructive they can be when you have someone like a Pat Cummins come in at number 8. And then Stark at 9 also. Pretty dangerous. That batting lineup is something. Now it's getting into the groove. I think it'll get scarier if you were to replace Labuschagne with Stoinis.
Yep.
Just imagine what that batting lineup is going to look like. And it just reiterates my point. I got a lot of abuse for that, saying you don't mind getting any team, but you wouldn't want to face Australia in the semi-final. I got so much abuse. I'm sure all of you guys who abuse me are watching. Again, I say India is a very good team. They'll do very well. But boss, this Australian team. But the good thing is, for all you know, they might not now finish 4th. So you don't get them in the semis anyway.
Yeah, final.
On my way to office, the one thing as I was tracking the score, the one thing coming to my mind again and again was mentality monsters. Yeah, you don't want to see them there. And now again, like we were saying earlier as well, maybe the bear has been poked. And I first thought I'd give myself a break when we start, after we discussed and we built up to the match. Then okay, first 4 overs, first 5 overs, 4 overs for 39 runs or something. I'm like, chalo, theek hai, thoda और, let's see. Then I'll take a break or sort. 14 overs, okay, now it's becoming interesting. Both have reached. I ended up watching every ball till the 24th over. Every ball I just couldn't take my eye off. What was that hitting? Some splendid hitting over there. There was just the first, I think it was the 14th over which Glenn Phillips bowled, which was the only over in the run up to the 14th over which went boundaryless. Every over otherwise went for boundaries.
No, towards the end.
I'm talking about the first 14.
Towards the end, this should have been easily 400 if it wasn't for the Trent bowled penultimate over and
3
the
wickets.
last over with that. My only question is, why did they bring on Jimmy Neesham so late?
Because
he came, I think, first over when he picked up a wicket of Maxi. His first over of the innings, picked up Maxi.
But then totally shattered by Cummins' onslaught and Inglis's onslaught.
But I am saying, when nothing is working, what do you do when nothing is working? At the initial, that opening partnership, nothing was working. That's when you try different things, right? You got in the spinners, I agree. But you could have looked at a Jimmy Neesham at that time. Sometime these dibbly-dobbly, can I call him dibbly-dobbly?
Yeah, you can.
Sometimes these dibbly-dobbly bowlers break partnerships.
Agreed. But I think, I was also thinking because again that 15-17th over mark, that graphic came which showed the number of bowlers that were New Zealand had tried. I think already 6 bowlers had rolled their arm over. And I was thinking, what else can Tom Latham be doing here? What as a captain do you here? And I was reminded of our match the other day. What do you do then? I was just empathizing with the Kiwis over there.
Just a reminder, we played a match ourselves where we were on the receiving end, much like what New Zealand were, but we kept trying different bowlers, we kept changing.
But again, I just couldn't hold that against Latham also. I think because see, you turned to Lockie. Lockie was the last he turned to. Of all the bowlers, Lockie was the last he turned to. Matt Henry, Trent bowled, all of them were tried out. Lockie again, because again there was no way those runs were getting plugged. But again, the fact that you brought on the spinners, Santner also went for runs the first over. It was Glenn Phillips who bowled that good over around the 14th, 15th over mark. Otherwise,
which is why I'm saying that gave you an indication, dibbly dobbly.
But spinners, I think by then what he'd learnt was, because see how quickly Glenn Phillips then got done with his overs. I think the idea was to then go with spinners much more.
Yeah, well, then in that case, Rachin should have got full quota of 10.
But Rachin was getting smacked.
Their entire plan fell apart.
Rachin gave, less runs than Santner.
Yeah.
But first couple of overs is expensive. How much did he finish?
He did. But I guess, when a situation like this, when this happens, then in hindsight, we have the benefit. No matter what you do, you'll get hammered with Australia in this mode.
Two things. I think they did not bank on Ferguson getting injured.
By the way, will he miss out next few games?
Looks like it, because he's not come back on the field, and with Ferguson you've seen it's never a minor niggle, it's always been a big niggle.
But they have a Tim Southee on the bench.
Yeah, actually, I mean, it's going to be a loss, but not too much, because they would have been trying to figure out how do you bring a Saudi in, and this might just make it slightly easy for them.
I was so, I could feel the hurt, let's say, as being a non-Kiwi fan also. I called up Siddharth, 10th over, 12th over. Siddharth, what is happening to your team?
There is a reason why Australia have always done well against New Zealand, in World Cups in particular, because look, 99 they almost were put on the brink of an exit by New Zealand. 15 they won the title, but that one loss came against them.
Yeah, Auckland was it?
Yeah, one wicket they lost. It was just Kane Williamson being at his best there, but now.
But final.
They were absolutely, from that time Australia made it a point. Attack in the first 10 to 15 overs and then take the game away from them. I mean, the game was taken away in the 20th over itself, 175. They're like
that typical big brother who bullies the younger brother. They are the big brothers in the Trans-Tasman rivalry that they have.
Only in cricket though.
Not in rugby.
Not
in rugby.
That's long night tonight.
Incredibly long night tonight.
So, not in rugby, but in cricket,
yes.
They do bully their
nice
neighbors.
Yeah, they do. I mean, New Zealand were not even considered a test match opponent for Australia for 27 years. The first tour they made was 1946, but then they waited 27 years after that. Now, ODIs also, till 2016-17, they were on an even keel. But then after that, Australia have just dominated. They have found the way how to dent the New Zealand bowlers, and not many people bowled too many short balls to Travis Head. That was yet another thing that they missed. What is the one thing which is like a razor's edge against Travis Head? Short ball can go for a 6, but it can also get you a wicket.
Next question. Was it a wise call winning the toss, putting the opposition in?
No. Now in hindsight, it doesn't.
The wicket slowed down.
Slowed down.
Yes,
it did. It started gripping, I agree. Would be worse now when New Zealand come out to bat.
It's even backfired because knowing the total, this isn't a bad wicket to be knowing the total and wanting to chase, let's be honest.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is, let's say 320, you'd give the chasing team a chance. 390,
it backfired.
It's backfired.
I would even say 340ish you would back teams, because now with the way cricket is played, like you saw when Pakistan chased down the highest ever total in World Cup, 345 against Sri Lanka. They didn't have to play exceptional cricket to chase it down. They played just regular cricket, and if you have a good pitch and just small ground like you will get in Dharamshala, you know that in today's day and age with the 2 new balls and the fielding restriction that you have, normal cricket, sensible cricket where you don't lose wickets and play runner ball can get you to 340, 350. It's when you start going beyond 360s that you'll have to be adventurous at certain point, and then that runs the risk of you losing wickets and it becomes a bit tough. Which is why I'm saying if it was within the 350, under 350, I don't think New Zealand would be panicking so much. Also, New Zealand bat pretty deep and their batters have been in good form, so they would have fancied themselves. It's just that after 350, that range can, no matter how the cricket is played right now, how confident you are with your batting, that pressure is something else, because you will have to play slightly outside your natural game, where you will have to say, no, I have to take extra risk to go there, unless they play a very mature innings in the case that they do not think, which is easier said than done. All of you, whenever this happens, all teams say, oh, we will not think about what we're chasing, let's play. Unless they execute that, we're just thinking it's a 350-ish total. Let's play normal cricket.
Yeah.
And in the last 15 overs, if you think you are in with a chance, then you go hell for leather, start losing the wicket. So the only chance is you go about 25-30 overs with not losing more than 2-3 wickets and a decent enough total. And then you have enough wicket to have that assault towards the end.
They'll have to bat like the way how they did against England. The top order will have to set that momentum the same way like how they did against England. The likes of
Rachin,
Conway, Ravindra. Plus you also have a dasher, you have two dashers in the bottom today with Glenn Phillips and James Neesham also. Now remember, you are having 4 left-handers in that top order. Santner, Neesham, Conway, Latham. So that is why Australia with their Rachin too, 5. So, but remember,
Maxi is going to do a lot of bowling today.
yeah, Maxwell.
Travis Head, who knows?
Head as well.
His injury was on his left arm, not his right.
Yeah. Plus he bowled in the nets.
Yeah.
He did bowl.
I was interestingly, I heard in the comms that all the practice before he, joined the squad last Thursday, I think, which it was, all the practice that he'd done was as far as recovery and everything was just play 2 tennis balls. That's it. 2 balls, that 2 tennis balls, and that is all the hitting and all that he did, and he came to India. That's all the practice that he did.
Wow.
Lovely.
Next time all he needs to do is this only.
Yeah.
Tennis ball.
Couple of tennis balls, that's it.
If he plays with tennis balls, comes to India, does a net session and can get you 100 at 162 strike rate, then boy, keep this going.
Keep this
For the rest of your career. It's like, towards his latter part of his career, Sachin had started doing it, where he would not practice a day before the game. Batting. Like he'd come for practice, he'll do a bit of bowling, do other drills, but not bat
Wow.
a day before the game.
That's same with Virat Kohli is also
But the
operating with
Indian
that
team is
template.
more or less
Virat
following that
bats,
mantra, right?
Virat
There's an
bats.
optional training session.
Yes, but in those days there was no optional training session. The teams would come 2 days before the game, 1 day before the game, they would be there practicing every day. There was no optional.
Yeah.
And in that case, he would practice, let's say 3 days before the game. So he's practiced 2 days, then 1 day. So match day -3 he's practiced, match day -2 he's practiced, match day -1, no batting. But we'll come in those days, there was no option. Everyone had to come to the ground. Whether you bat, you don't bat, whatever, you had to come. So he would do a lot of fielding drills, a lot of bowling in the nets.
Yeah.
And that actually helped him then, bowl very well in the match as well. So yeah, continue this, man.
200 plus ODI wickets, yeah, we tend to forget. We're just so swayed by his runs, we forget that he's got more 5
He
first
would
and
have got
ODIs.
a lot more had he bowled a lot more.
Yeah.
And one of the freakiest stat ever in world cricket, Sachin Tendulkar has more 5 first in ODI cricket than Shane Warne.
Yeah. He does. Even our chairman of selectors, he has much more than even him also.
Yeah.
Kochi, both he got in Kochi.
No, but Chairman of Selector was a bowler, na?
Yeah.
Sachin Tendulkar.
But still.
Chairman of selectors was a bowler, everyone wanted to bat a bit more.
No, he was very talented with the bat. AajTak very talented with
But
the
you
bat.
always wanted a bit more from him, right? With
Yes,
the bat.
because I always got a feeling from the outside, never have spoken to him about it, maybe someday I will, that I got a feeling he never took his batting very seriously. Like he treated himself as a bowler. Though he started off as a batter, but
Yes, Mumbai.
school cricket and all, he is from Sharda Ashram, same school as Sachin Tendulkar. So he was a batter actually. He played his junior level cricket also as a batter.
Yeah.
Good
Even
man.
Amol is from Sharda Ashram, no? Amol Muzumdar.
Is Amol? No, I'm not sure. May have been. I'm not sure. I know Sachin, Kamli and Ajita.
Yeah.
These 3 I know. I don't know.
But Amol is also from Sharda Ashram.
Could be.
Because
Chairman of selectors
I remember that 664 run partnership. I've read reports.
Oh, yeah, he was the guy padded up.
Padded up.
Yes, correct.
yeah.
Now I remember you went to the
Yes.
partnership,
Yeah.
that when Kamli and Sachin were batting,
Amol.
he was the guy padded up.
Yes.
I've also read that somewhere, but
Yes.
I'll try and check that.
No, he's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sharda
as
Ashram.
soon as he said that, I was also reminded of.
Yeah. So, but again, look at 388. It could very well have been 340.
Yeah.
Had
Catches.
3 catches dropped.
What about that Santner catch?
You've seen Santner take freakish catches. If you judge that as the benchmark,
Just not the other day, didn't he?
Against Pakistan,
Exactly.
didn't he? No, not Pakistan.
No,
Bangladesh. Or Afghanistan. He took, I think, Shahidi. He took Shahidi's catch. Running back. Imagine, that is the benchmark for Santner. This he should have taken. But the drops by Ravindra, and you knew that it was not New Zealand's day, when even Glenn Phillips, who takes Superman catches for fun, even he drops a catch of Josh Ingles. So, it just wasn't New Zealand's day even in the field.
So it's changed, huh? Pakistan fielded well. New Zealand.
They became Pakistan for one day. So, I mean.
So, what did you call them the others? Semi-minnows, huh?
Semi-minnows.
Are New Zealand and semi-minnows?
No, they are, this will only be their second loss. They are not going to be out of the reckoning for the semi-final
No, in
race.
this match now. Do
Yeah,
they look
that they are facing a very uphill task. Unless they bat the way how they batted against England. Yeah.
All I can say is, if they were to chase this down, then our dream or wish of having back-to-back thrillers is going to come true, because this will then even trump the Pakistan South Africa game. If New Zealand were to chase it down, then it's going to be one hell of a chase and one hell of a game that we'll remember for a very long time.
New Zealand have done it though in the past against Australia. They chased down 200-300 plus totals. But
that also, because you were saying wish they get 400 Australia. If they had gotten 400, maybe New Zealand would have been confident, because Australia's history is such they have a 50% record of defending 400. So there would have been a 50% chance. Right now, I think people will give them 20-30% chance New Zealand to chase it down. But had it been past 400, statistically, Australia have a 50% chance of losing.
It would have been interesting what the win predictor then would have said.
Even 350, Australia have never defended it well. I mean, you look at the match against South Africa, Durban, 370, they didn't defend that. 350, so many times against India, they didn't defend.
See, the only team in the World Cup, I think, that would fancy itself, even though, let's say, very, may not have been or may not be a comfortable chase for them, would be South Africa. I think they have the firepower to get to such totals. But chasing also, we know how shaky they can be.
Chasing, so they can't get 250. Forget about that. And now our good friend Temba Bavuma, he's accepted also that there's a bit of an issue that we have. He is said, very candid of him, honest of him, where he's actually come out and said that we do not know what the right template is for chasing. They haven't figured that out yet. And he's saying this now openly, which is now, going to give ideas to other teams.
Opposition.
But though I was thinking that, you shouldn't have said it. Why do you want to tell teams that you are not? But then I was like, even if he didn't say it, everyone's figured it out. They've seen it now.
Exactly.
You've seen Netherlands, you've seen against Pakistan.
The win predictor for Pakistan, even at that time, was only 15%.
When?
Yesterday, when they were 7-8 down, South Africa, even then the win percentage was 15%. 85% was South Africa.
No, then the win predictor needs fixing.
Not like the DRS.
Umpire's call is needed.
Umpire's
win
call is
predictor
needed.
also. Technology is not 100%. Allow some human technology human element to come.
I mean, come on, that Punjab versus RR game at IPL when they had to just get 4 in the last over. Kartik Tyagi bowling that over. 99.4%. That was the win predictor. And 0.6 RR, they managed to win it.
No, but that I don't blame the win predictor.
Yeah.
In a T20 game, defending 4 is, if not 99, it was at least 95% you would have to give it to the batting team. From there to lose it, that I don't blame the win predictor. But this, if at the end was just giving 15% chance to Pakistan, it wasn't. Once there was 7 down, it became a 50-50 game for me.
Yep.
From there on. And it did play out like that, almost like a 50-50 game. Could have gone either way. Lots of, by the way, debate over DRS and, about umpire's call. We made our point very clear in the show last night. So if you're still wondering what our thoughts are on that, we spoke extensively about that in our show last night. There is another video that Siddharth has done. There will be another one with reaction that will be coming up. If I get time, I'll also try and do a video just on my take as to what DRS is. So we'll have a lot of that on Sports Today. So keep press that bell icon so every time that video comes, when it's out. plenty of opinion coming there. We'll try and get Sunil Gavaskar today to react to that, and maybe his idea as well, what he thought of that DRS, what should be the future in terms of umpire's call, and what he made of that in that Pakistan game. So we'll get that also on Sports Today a little later in the day. But for now, of course, all eyes on this game, which if we had to pick percentage wise, because it's a small ground, can be chased, I'm going 70-30 in Australia's favour.
80-20, Australia's favour.
75-25.
75. Oh, this is pretty even, very close. There and thereabouts. But all I say is, if they were to chase it down, it's going to be a game that we'll remember for posterity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how.
It happened in 2007. I thought the chase of 350 that they had, but that was Hamilton, where the square boundary is 50 meters. And Australia, this was just before the 2007 World Cup. They lost 3-0 to New Zealand. They chased 2 totals in excess of 330 at that time. But here in Dharamshala, where the pitch is getting slower, Zampa will get turn. Maxwell, head will chip in. Australia have the right team.
Sensible cricket, right? Be sensible against Zampa if it is turning and cricket. Attack the fast bowlers, and Australian fast bowlers we've seen have a tendency to leak runs as well. So you can go for plenty, but it'll have to be, let's see if they play with maturity, or like they showed against England, and that flamboyance that they showed against England, or do they have an epic collapse like they did against India? We don't know, which New Zealand. So we'll have to see. Plenty of questions.
Yes. Satish B is saying Travis Head, supreme power hitter. I mean, I do agree. I mean, his game in the last 4 years has been phenomenal, Travis Head. I mean, the way how he sets up the chase, or an innings, kind of reminds me of Sanat Jayasuriya. The way his power hitting is, the way how he's fearless. That's the way I look at Travis Head. Sanat Jayasuriya, there's a lot of Sanat Jayasuriya in him. Plus, off spinner, he was a left armer. In the debate of all-rounders, I don't know why we don't put Sanat Jayasuriya there as one of the best white ball all-rounders.
Should be.
Not red ball. Red ball, he hardly bowled. So
white ball, yes, 100%.
13,000 runs, nearly 400 wickets.
Yep.
Shubham Garg is saying, look at positive. After 180 for 1 in 20 overs, they finished at 388 only. Get head of Warner early, Oz will struggle. Marsh, Smith, Labuschagne still not in form. Partly agree, but it needs only one good knock for them to get back in form.
And also that Maxwell's come into form. So that's dangerous now. 2 games back to back where he's had a big impact. And we also know that English has been in good form. And Cummins got runs today. So while that top order does well and the middle order kind of struggles also, the lower middle order chips in, so works.
It's good, but going forward, yes, I think Smith is a cause of worry for Australia. He's just not been informed. The only game that he got runs in was against the Netherlands, where he got 71 or something. So
see, Labuschagne will make way once Stoinis comes in.
Yeah.
But Marsh, just 2 games ago, he had hit 100 against Pakistan here. Why do we forget that? So I think, your batting will assume a very ominous edge if Marcus Stoinis comes back, Labuschagne goes out. Marsh and Smith, one good knock is needed, that's it. Then they will be menacing. And remember, Smith doesn't do well in the league stages. He's a clutch player in the semi-final.
Exactly.
Yeah, Shubham Garg is correcting you, Harshit. He had 2 tennis ball sessions of 1 hour each in Australia. Come here, not just 2 tennis balls. It was 2
that's what he meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
don't just play 2 balls then,
I know. I'm fine. I'm fit. Let's go.
But Ricky Ponting was pointing out that he had some heavy bandage though, his on his arm. Even today, earlier in the match, he couldn't talk much, he said on comms, but doesn't look like any of that bandage made any sort of a difference.
Yeah, I don't think.
Piyush Nandre says, I think they didn't play Dil Dil New Zealand today. Piyush.
Very.
Yeah, you're being childish.
Yeah.
By the way, that reminds me, in Chepauk they were playing Dil Dil Pakistan.
Yep.
And they played it in Bangalore as well.
Yep.
And they played, which I think is how it should be. It's an ICC tournament, play songs for both teams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But again, that was an entirely. Imagine what all we are focusing on in this World Cup. DJs playing song, umpires call. What more do we want?
King D says it could have been 500. You know what? Initially, when the way they were going, even I thought 500. But if you see, there are a lot of games, especially in the recent past, where we've spoken about, is the 500 going to be coming? Is the 500? It doesn't come because see, that's the nature of the game. You may look like at one stage, but there will be ebbs and flows. The innings has to slow down. There is a reason why 500 hasn't been breached, right? If it was that easy, that if you got a good start, you're going to get 500. It doesn't work like that. To maintain that momentum through the 50 overs is tough, which is why so a lot of time we see that start and feel, oh, anything if they don't reach 500, then it's underperforming. Not quite. They've actually overachieved. It's just that's how the format is. That's how it goes.
Yep.
But a quick word on the outfield. Did you guys see when Daryl Mitchell put in that dive?
Yeah.
It's worrying. Like now it's the last game anyway at Dharamsala, but that's just disappointing.
20 runs.
Yeah, I mean today even he too dropped the catch.
So they're chasing 368.
No. They have already conceded way over par.
You saw that Sodhi misfield.
Sodhi misfield, Ravindra drop, Mitchell drop, Santner drop.
Maybe it had something to do with the outfield as well.
If that was playing on their minds,
I'm
then
saying 20 runs.
Much more.
With Pakistan, you say 20 runs.
Yeah.
That they will give any.
They have already conceded that 40 runs extra.
If they give 270, you say people are chasing 250. So if the outfield is bad, I'm not saying Australia is a bad field. The outfield is bad, 20 runs less.
No.
So is it 368 that they're chasing?
They have balanced it out.
Because even if they get close to 368, we have a match.
Yeah. See, they have, because the amount of catches that New Zealand dropped, I think they have already made it up. So, Australia will be defending 389 only. They have dropped 4 catches here. 4 safe fielders dropping catches. Phillips, I said, Santner, okay.
Santner was again,
But for the high benchmarks he set. He's not like Virat Kohli or Smith, who take difficult catches but drop easy ones. He's not like that. He takes all catches. Mitchell, he's called Superman for a reason because he takes good catches. He dropped a sitter.
He'll have to play a good knock.
Yeah. Phillips. Oh man, that I realized it is just not New Zealand.
The David Warner one.
No, towards the end,
Inglis. He was fielding at short mid-wicket.
Inglis.
Inglis.
He ran, put in the dive. He took a same diving catch in Sydney. Here he dropped it.
There's another one that came as well earlier in the game, but that was
superhuman.
You don't catch those.
Yeah. So, and that's what Shubham was saying. Smith is struggling with the template. He does not look settled on the pitch. Same is the case with Labuschagne. But I think Labuschagne just came because of those knocks against South Africa. Had Stoinis' head not been injured, he would have not featured.
He was not even in the squad.
Yeah.
Just came a last minute replacement. And I think he will have to miss out.
Yeah.
Because if I had to punt between Smith and Labuschagne, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to stick with Smith.
Yep.
Going forward, even though if both of them may not be in form, I know Labuschagne's got a few knocks. Yeah. Going forward, once Stoinis is there, you'll have to do that.
Yep. Okay, Stark to Conway.
Conway is the key.
Yep. And it's a wide.
Not a great start.
2 slips in place.
Can afford a few wides.
Yeah,
Australia now.
Can afford.
Okay.
It can't be like Pakistan.
Can't be like Pakistan bowling at the death.
Wide after wide after wide.
See you. Bye-bye. Take care. End of the game will be live.
Yep.
Look forward to your company then. Bye-bye.
Nandri.